Hello everyone and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, we finally have a schedule for the Final Fantasy XIV 3-year anniversary stream. They've had one of those every year at this point since the game has launched back in 2013, and we're going to be going over what you're going to be able to see during that broadcast if you can manage to stay awake during it. We also want to detail the Moonfire Faire now that it's actually been out for a few days, and we can speak on the amazing experiences that we had because we all already know that it was amazing for both of us. And finally, we have a quick bit of lore from the Tales of the Dragon Song War. We don't want to go too much into that because we're lacking in ethos today. But anyway, I am one of your hosts, Michael, Mr. Happy Poverone. Of course, joining me is Slyh, aka Slythefox, aka Slyh, aka Greyfox, aka you my boy. Don't do that. Don't. It's not even oh, there we go. All right.
There's a Lalafell down there that I'm looking at.
There's a Lalafell down there. You could just use face cam. There you go.
Yeah, you could use face cam, or you could use a Lalafell, or you could use a minion. Yeah.
We should have called it State of the Dab.
State of the Dab.
That's what we should have called it. All right. Well, yeah. It's forgivable. You know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something different this episode. I'm gonna leave that music playing. I'm gonna leave it playing at like a very low volume for like the whole show, and we're gonna see if anyone like actually catches on to it the entire time. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we'll just. I'm telling you now before you look at the chat and go, "Hey, happy people are saying things like this." We're just, that's how we do. We do live improv here. And we're great at it. And mistakes are never made. All right.
We're perfect.
No, we're perfect every time. So, first thing we want to discuss today, as in classic Square Enix fashion, as soon as the last broadcast was over, there's a bunch of things happening, and now we get to talk about them this week. One of the things that happened actually this morning, thankfully, just before State of the Realm, is we got our announcement about the 3-year anniversary broadcast for Final Fantasy XIV.
Again, not our anniversary. The 3-year anniversary of Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes, because number 76 is an episode when you have a weekly show does not equal 3 years. That would be 156. That is 3 years. Yes. 52 times 3 is 156. I'm pretty sure of that. On most planets, that is probably the case. So, for those who have never watched the 3-year anniversary broadcast, it's a 14-hour broadcast where there's a lot of fluff pieces, and honestly, if you don't speak Japanese, it's a lot's lost. You kind of have to take other people's word for it, or you...
or you could get Marco for an entire 14
Marco
hours.
is never going to do a 14-hour translation, you understand that, right?
14-hour translation. Yeah.
There is 0% chance Marco does all 14 hours. I would never even ask him to do all 14 hours because that seems ridiculous to me. Yeah. But at least they actually told us what every single one of these events is going to be, so we don't have to sit here going, I wonder what that's going to be like. I wonder, is it going to be, do you think they'll talk about this there? Do you think they'll do this, and that?
No, there's a little bit, we can speculate a little bit, because they don't go into too much detail in terms of... some things that they're doing, but other things that's just pretty much clear cut, and what you see is what you're gonna get.
Well, okay. Well, the one thing that's absolutely clear cut is challenge accepted, Hiroshi Takai. I feel bad that they keep doing this to this guy because, like, he definitely deserves better than to constantly be the guy who's thrown at. Hey, you have to go play the game for 12 hours straight. 13 hours straight, because we just need somebody to be suffering for the entire 13 hours.
Yeah, like we haven't done that before.
Hey, it's one thing if we play, but Yoshi P walks up to Hiroshi Takai every year and goes, listen, this year, this is what you're grinding. I don't want to hear anything. That's what's going to happen. Now, go prepare. And he's just like, I already did it on my actual character. I don't want to do it again. Hiroshi Takai, it actually doesn't say what he will be doing as a challenge, but we all know. It's gonna be yokai medals.
It's gonna be yokai.
There's no way it's not yokai medals. It's like here's the thing, though. I mean, he might realistically finish in 14 hours for the yokai medals. It's possible. It's not probable, but it's possible that he finishes. It was possible for him to finish the Atmos, too, but...
Or make him do a deep dungeon solo run. That doesn't take 4 hours.
That doesn't take 13 hours unless he dies over and over again. But it is definitely gonna. I don't see it being anything except that because they're not gonna make him do parts of the anima quest line. That'd be kind of strange. Collect as many unidentifiables as you can prior to the stream ending, and then he has like fucking 4 of them by the end of the stream. So anyway, that's one thing that's going to be happening. Last year, I think they had a second stream. That being said, all of the audio is Japanese only. So again, if you don't know what they're saying, then a lot of it's lost on you.
Yeah.
We start with the introduction, which is Yoshi P's room. They've done this every year, and it's really, well, it's introduction. It's introduction and Yoshi P's room. It starts with the introduction of them saying, hi, we're all these people. We're going to be joining you for the next 14 hours. And then for 30 minutes out of that first hour, it's Yoshi P's room where he just talks with the developers. And they kind of go over like memories and stuff like, oh, what's happened in 3 years, what's changed in the last year, anything like that. I don't know have you watched Yoshi P's room? Because he's done Yoshi P's room at like live events too.
I've caught it. I caught it for the last 14 hour, but again, it's language barrier. Did not know what's going on.
You just wait for like those few words where he's like, anima, ha. You're like, oh, okay, let's talk about the animal weapon. Oh, okay. Yeah. I wonder what they're saying about it. And then you just hope that somebody in the immediate vicinity is like, oh, this is what they're saying. Oh, ha. Yeah. I would love to know what they're saying.
Me too.
Listen, I ain't no Rosetta Stone, okay? You can't.
Hopefully someone out there, decides that they're bored and decides to live translate. Not saying Marco, but somebody,
Nobody's gonna sit there and especially not live. Maybe like typing.
Somebody's gonna live translate what they're gonna like. They might say something in the room. I don't know. It's gonna get put out to Reddit.
Someone will catch it. If anything important is said, someone will catch it.
Yeah.
But the important things to be said are in the next hour and a half after Yoshi P's room, because I guess they know that they shouldn't hold the live letter until the very end, because, we kind of want to get that live letter number 31 out of the way. I forgot the last one was live letter XXX, and that this is XXX1.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is dirty. Okay. The good news is, Sly, it is at 9 p.m. Pacific, this live letter, so midnight for you.
Yeah.
So it's at a reasonable time compared to the usual times at the very least. The most important detail about this is it says catch a glimpse of what's to come in the next patch with patch 3.4 preview part 1.
Part 1. And Mike and I were talking about this a little bit before we actually got into pre-show. Part 2 more than likely will be at TGS, Tokyo Game Show, and usually at Tokyo Game Show they usually do a fate, and pretty much most of the fates they do a live letter. So this is going to be part 1, and then you're going to have to wait for Tokyo Game Show to get part 2.
Yeah, I don't expect it's going to be very long between part 1 and part 2, because that's the August 27th to September 17th. And I'd like to bring up something that was said. No, yeah, it's September 17th for TGS, isn't it?
Actually, hold that thought. When is Gamescom?
Gamescom is, I think it's before PAX West. I think it's August 23rd. Or, yeah, because they're going to be at Gamescom. Gamescom is just before the 14-hour broadcast. They put it on the main page.
Okay.
It's like the 19th through whatever. It's next weekend. It's next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, it's going to Gamescom 2016, August 17th through 21st. So, yeah, there's no live letter there. There's
No.
There's the Nidhogg Challenge. That's what's going to be there. And some other, like, fun events. But I'd like to bring up that Yoshi P did have a quote. I don't remember exactly where. I think it was from a Gamer Escape interview. And
which one?
I don't remember. I may not have been Gamer Escape, but I saw it quoted all over Reddit, and I remember reporting out in it in one of our videos, one of our State of the Realms, where Yoshi P specifically says that it will be patch 3.4 and then Fan Festival.
FanFest.
He specifically states that 3.4 will happen before Fan Festival.
Whereas with 2.4, it was released after.
Granted, we're about a month ahead of schedule from 2.4 because 2.3 came out in July, whereas 2.3 came out in July, whereas 3.3 came out in June. So we've been pretty much a month ahead across the board since the release of Heaven's Ward. And so that gives us a period between September 20th, which is the Tuesday immediately after TGS, September 27th, October 3rd, and October 10th. Those are now the 4 days, the only 4 viable days. To me, September 27th, October 3rd are off limits. You cannot do it 3 days after or 3 days before Final Fantasy 15. You're an asshole. That's all I gotta say. You're an asshole if you do that. Like, there's no better way of putting it. If you do this, you're an asshole, Square Enix. That's what I'm saying.
That's Mike's quote, not mine. I'm only saying it's possible. Only saying it's possible.
You're an asshole. And don't forget, Fan Festival is 13th is registration day, 14th and 15th is the actual Fan Fest. Patch is always on a Tuesday, though that's why October 10th is the latest possible date. Don't be October 3rd or you're an asshole. I promise you. Okay?
Oh boy, oh boy.
That's my feedback as a player. Don't do it. Just don't do it. So that means, part 2 is going to be in on September 17th, almost definitely. I can't see it being at any. There's no other event going on other than TGS at that point before Fan Festival. And we also expect them to kind of do a post 3.4 live letter, probably about the diadem at Fan Festival itself. So there's a lot of expectations we have for the next several months, but that's about an hour and a half, and it is part 1 of the preview. I mean, we haven't gone over kind of what some of our expectations are for 3.4 in a while. Well, I mean, we kind of did. We kind of went over some of the basics. Diadem is a big one that we were hoping would be 3.4, but we know it's not going to be anymore.
All right.
We also had they've been mentioning on the forums that they're going to make it so that with the Raid Finder you can queue for an Extreme Primal the patch it comes out. But they haven't given us a date. They said it's just currently in the process of
in the process. It's in development. So.
Of being discussed. When do you think that's going to hit?
Time frame or patch frame?
Patch frame.
3.5.
I second that.
Yeah.
I second that.
It only seems logical that it would probably hit at 3.5 since we're probably not going to get it 3.4. It's possible we get it for 3.45 for a smaller patch. We'll put it like this. What patch? I forgot. What patch did we get in Raid?
What's that? What patch should we get? What?
Raid Finder.
3.3.
So it was an actual solid number patch. So
yeah,
I'd say 3.5. I mean, 3.5. Not 3.5.
And 3.5 is also when we're supposed to be getting the cross-server chat and the app for your phone to talk to link shells and free company members and shit.
Yeah,
so, major like social, and even though like we obviously would love that stuff, that really seems more like on the Japanese end of things because mobile is so important.
I think this is more of a everybody thing. I know a lot of people would definitely utilize it in North America and in Europe. So I don't think this is more of a just strictly Japanese thing that would just work only for Japan.
No, it's not going to work only for Japan, but I feel like that's where most of the inspiration comes from because
of course.
That's where that market has been going, and I don't know. I expect you'll need to have an active subscription to use this app. I can't imagine it'll just be a free app for you to use otherwise.
Because don't you, if I'm mistaken, hold on 1 second. The Eorzea Libra app, don't you need a subscription for that?
Do you? I don't know. I haven't used it in so long. Like since like the day it came out, I haven't used it.
Yeah, I haven't used it in a while either. I only used it maybe once in a blue moon just to see, oh, hey, look, this is my character. Hey, I can hey, yeah. But other than that, and you would have to log in for that, naturally. So I don't think, I think you would. I agree. I think you would have to have a active subscription for something like this.
Yeah. What else in 3.4? We still have the discussion of the demon versus the goddess. We don't know which one.
I'm still putting my money on goddess.
I'm still putting my money on both.
Both?
In one fight. In a single encounter, both of them. That's where my money is right now.
Yeah.
It's the only way I get my Tower of Gods in 3.5. It's the only way I get that. So I need it to happen in 3.4. It's just my fantasy.
You really want Tower of Gods to happen.
It's my fantasy. I need to have it. Okay, so we have that. What else do we have? Okay, so we're done talking about 3.4 for the time being because we could sit here and speculate on that for an entire episode without needing to talk about other things. Right. Hey, trash. Why now? Come on. Professionalism. Go pick up my trash later. And then, so this is interesting. Adrenaline Rush TV is the next thing.
Now, this kind of speaks to the whole culling time a little bit. Like, you think they would do something a la culling time, which is done our chores?
I don't know. It says a special program for PvP enthusiasts, and it's an hour long. What the hell does that
Sounds like culling time.
That sounds like culling time. But is it? Like, why wouldn't they just say, why wouldn't they just call, I understand culling time was like a community team thing for NA and EU.
Yeah.
But do you think they're really gonna do that? Or is this like when are they just gonna, do they have like some sort of like TV thing put together? Because you gotta remember, Final Fantasy 14,
it's not on the esports channel. So we know it's not that. But I think, you think they will discuss some shanky PvP?
What I'm hoping is that there is actual discussion about PvP here regarding the future of it, as well as maybe just some PvP action along the way. I don't know, though. I know that on Gilgamesh, oh god, that's why I don't do the music anymore. I just remembered why I don't do the music in the background anymore.
Why?
Do you remember what happened the last time I did?
No.
I told you how the volume just shoots up at the beginning of the track.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, guess what just happened and blew everyone's eardrums out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
except yours. What are you complaining about? You didn't even get to hear it. Yeah, that's ended. The thing is, the song looped like 5 times before it did that, too, is the thing. But nope, then it's like, boom, here you go, that one little sound. It sounds like someone just took a cymbal and just smashed it next to your ear real quick. So yeah, I'm hoping it's something regarding the PvP, because on Gilgamesh the PvP has been fine, but I know that people are kind of so spread out now that the queue times are down, and that pretty much Grand Company everyone's crying for Grand Company restriction removals now more than ever, and it's becoming more and more warranted.
And the proper Yoshi P response, we know.
We'll look into it.
Degradation.
The moral degradation.
Yeah, right. Moral degradation.
But guys, moral degradation. Whatever will we do?
What about that?
I don't know what we'll do if we do that. My morals are being degraded. All right. So next we have NGC's Final Fantasy 14 Season 2. Now, I'm almost positive this was actually something that aired on a TV show for Season 1 over in Japan. So, because it's Season 2. It says it's Season 2 right now. This is a special program featuring hosts Edo-san and Fumichi, sponsored by Alienware and NVIDIA GeForce.
No, I didn't see Season 1. Can you kind of,
I didn't see Season 1. It's Japanese. I don't know what these shows are about. We don't get these TV shows here in America. Marco, did you watch this? Are you No?
No.
Okay. That's all right. I understand.
All right.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat will know what Season 1 was about, but apparently there's a Season 2, a special episode, a special program, and Alienware and NVIDIA GeForce will be hosting it, basically. Sponsored by, more specifically. So, thanks! Thanks, Alienware and NVIDIA GeForce. Will there be prizes at FanFest? Yeah? Okay, just making sure. Okay, then we have the community stream, Part 13. I'm positive this is not our American team, by the way.
Yeah.
It is only the Japanese team.
And I actually took to Discord, haven't heard back. But maybe if Lex Ferris or if Slyseeker is in the chat, are there any plans for this? Are y'all doing anything alongside this? You know, yay, maybe?
Probably not.
Let me know.
I'd imagine as an employee, you can't broadcast something that immediately conflicts with a big event like that.
No, not conflicts, but just do something like over Skype, maybe, or something like that. You know.
Well, they're going to be doing something over Skype, but it's not going to be our community team. But there is going to be a Skype event here, which we'll talk about. That's like 2 events after this right now. So,
right.
You know what's even more confusing than having like this Season 2 and this Part 13 community stream, which is definitely the Japanese community team that's going to be partaking in that. Is there's already within the program there's Yoshi P's Room, and now there's Yoshi P's Room Part 2, which is an hour long, where he's going to be talking with special guests.
Now, I know you said it like in the beginning. It's a little bit of fluff, And that's where I think this comes in, because I remember in the last 14-hour broadcast they had like some cosplayers, I think.
I mean, I think they've had a few cosplayers in like across different events, so I don't know specifically about last year. And these, by the way, all this shit's happening at like 4 a.m. anyway, so I'm gonna be asleep.
Yeah, so nobody's gonna be up. I mean, if I'm up, which usually I am over the weekend, I'll probably tune in, watch it, see what happens. But yeah, I have no idea who the special guests might be. It's usually fluff, like you said.
You know what I just realized? Never mind. Never mind.
What happened?
No, I realized the wrong thing because I keep thinking that PAX West is the last weekend of August when it's the first week of September. So I look at Friday, August 26th. I was like, shit, am I gonna be at PAX for this? And then I realized I wasn't, because I was at PAX for the live letter, the live letter before E3. I was at PAX East, so I was like, oh, I don't want to do it again. Yeah, so. That's what I was getting. So the special guest, I'm almost positive they're going to have the CEO of Level 5 there again, because they're definitely gonna want to invite him to watch Hiroshi Takai torture himself, and I'm sure they're going to have more things to talk about. Who I'm actually hoping will be there, although it doesn't seem too likely, is some maybe Tabata or something from 15.
Yeah, from 15. Maybe teasing the crossover.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We still entirely anticipated a crossover between 15 and 14, and they've been talking about it for some time. And it'd be strange if there wasn't a crossover event kind of right near September 30th. And having special guests is kind of the opportunity to give us ideas about what some of the next events are going to be. So, do you have any ideas who the guests might be other than those couple of few?
Those were the ones I was banking on.
Couple of few is the dumbest thing I think I've ever said. That means a couple. Two fews.
Two fews.
Like so 6.
4?
Like 6.
4 people, 6.
I guess 6, because it's 2 sets of few, and few is usually like 3 to 5, so.
But yeah, I was kind of banking on Tabata or, Level 5.
The chat's like, this time the CEO might get lynched for making people Atma grind again. Yeah, because he's the one who's like, make it an Atma grind. He's like leaning over Yoshi P's shoulders. He's like, all right, what are we going to do here? He's like, make it an Atma grind. It was my favorite. Not really. That's why I want you to do it. Okay. So that's going to be Yoshi P's Room Part 2. And then we have an hour where Japanese people, players, I guess, can call in. And they can talk to Yoshi P and ask him questions over Skype. I want to know why they are using Skype. I would just like to say that this seems like something maybe you should use.
Hashtag professional. You're not using Zoom yet. They're not on that level, Mike. Not everybody can.
Well, they couldn't do Zoom because you can't call in. I'm assuming they're just doing Skype because it allows for easy call-ins. Like it's easy to.
Easier, and everybody knows it. Not everybody knows Zoom.
Zoom wouldn't be good for this because you can't call into Zoom. You can, but you need to give everyone like a phone number, and then they'd all. be thrown
the call-ins have to be predetermined, I'm guessing.
No, they're gonna pick them. They're just gonna call in, and they're gonna do it like a hotline would, where they're just like caller number 1, whoever's on line number 1, and caller number 2, line number 2.
Yoshi P Radio.
I'm just surprised that they're not setting up like their own kind of hotline like that, as opposed to going with Skype. But that's probably because it's way easier to just do it through Skype.
And to further the description, this year we would like to hear from our engaged or married couples who were brought together by Final Fantasy XIV. So the lovebirds of Eorzea, we're waiting for your call.
See, remember when we tried to do a State of the Realm about that shit, and neither you or me.
Nobody liked it.
That was fucked up because that was a great episode.
Yes.
I love that episode where we had all the couples come on and talk about their experience of playing Final Fantasy XIV together.
And
they took our idea. They just brought it to Japan where people aren't assholes.
And things like this happen on a regular basis. Like, I want to say it was PAX East that someone got proposed to? I think I remember seeing a picture. I
don't remember.
Yeah, I remember seeing a picture. I think it was Sephiroth at PAX East? No, he wasn't.
Sephiroth was at East. This East? Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Okay, so it had to be PAX East because I remember seeing the photos from the the 14 area of it, and somebody got down on one knee and proposed and said yes.
That was East.
Yeah, that was East. So yeah, it happens on a regular basis. So why don't you like that? Love.
Because you're reminding. Don't remind people forever alone.
Love.
Love.
It's all about love.
It's all about love. Except people are like, oh, married people feels bad man. # forever alone. That's what it looks like on Twitch and Twitter combined. I like this topic. I think it's particularly an important thing because one of the biggest things about MMOs is that it is supposed to bring people together, like-minded people together.
Exactly.
This is probably the grandest scenario. I mean, I met my girlfriend on an MMO. It wasn't Final Fantasy 14, but still, like, it's a similar story, at least to some level.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that it's received well and that people don't just what-face it the whole time. No what-facing.
No what-facing.
No what-facing at all. There you go.
There's somebody for everybody. Just letting you know. We're loved. We're loved.
I also noticed there's like a 30-minute break in between Yoshi P's room and hello, this is ... So, I'm sorry, circle. Mm-hmm. It's like the whole Sephiroth thing again.
Yeah. Hello, this is Sephiroth. Goals.
I guess they'll just be sweet music that whole time.
And Sephiroth will just swipe callers away.
Yeah, pretty much. That'd be fun. That'd be funny if they say, you know how they had the like one-on-one Yoshi P thing where like you're determined a winner if Yoshi P can't answer your question properly or whatever. It'd be awesome if they just had a Sephiroth on each side and whoever loses just swipes them off the stage. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Okay, and then there's another 30-minute break between between A Stroll with Yoshi P and the final part. A Stroll with Yoshi P, he's just gonna go walk around in Final Fantasy 14. The last time Yoshi P walked around,
Primal!
He's not gonna go to an English data center on this one.
Yeah, I know.
It's 6 a.m. Pacific.
I'll be up. Like nobody's gonna be if I can finally get a picture, which I couldn't get the last time he was on Primal because everybody was just hogging him. Still sent a friend request. He still hasn't responded. Yes,
he probably thinks you're RMT, Sly.
Add me, bro. He
probably thinks
I'm not RMT. I want to run Deep Dungeon with you, man.
I'm not convinced. I want
to run Deep Dungeon.
I see you running that script club over there. I'm not convinced.
God damn it.
Yep. He imagines like, yo, Yoshi P, come to my script club sometime, man.
I gotta bring all the hot Makote girls there.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
So where do you think he's gonna go? I mean, like you said, it's gonna be a JP server, but
I don't know. And even he's gonna be there for an hour and a half. What the fuck is he gonna do? You know what they should do? They should send him to whatever server Hiroshi Takai is going to, and he should go and help him with the with the medals. Yeah. He should go help him for like a little bit and then just leave. Pretty much.
See, I even says no script club. It doesn't exist. Yeah, I know. I'm still working on it. I just got a little bit of change. I got a little bit of skill sitting my way, so I'm good. We gotta come.
Yeah, you if you say so. Yeah, he says it's a leisurely trip. Does he not know that's like, in the case of sending Yoshi P into a Final Fantasy 14 world, there's nothing leisurely about that. That's like sending Shaquille O'Neal into the crowd stadium back when he was on a team. Even if you did it now, you couldn't even just send Shaquille O'Neal into a crowd of basketball fans. That's gonna end. They're just gonna be like,
Shaquille,
he's so tall. Get a picture.
Shaq.
Yeah, you can't do that with Yoshi P. Is pretty much the Shaquille O'Neal of Final Fantasy 14. So it's just that's gonna be rough. It's good, and at least the Japanese servers aren't gonna friggin' do it.
Do what we do. We just freak out. Oh my God, Yoshi P!
No, it's not even.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Let's crowd him. Let me get a picture. I can't get a picture. Oh my God! Move, everybody!
It's a stupid shit people say in shout chat that I was always concerned about with him coming to English servers.
And then sending him RMT. You dumb fuck.
Well, the RMTs don't know any better. They're on an algorithm.
Yeah, they're on an algorithm.
And then there's going to be
set up by somebody.
There's a real person somewhere along the way. And there's another 30-minute break between A Stroll with Yoshi P and the finale where it's called The Developers versus Yoshi P. I'm assuming this is akin to the verses that they did that we just talked about with the Sephiroth arms where it was the
Mm-hmm.
people coming up. Because if it's versus, it sounds like they're all gonna just like say, "Hey Yoshi P, we want to do this," and he's gonna be like, "Oh, you stepped into. I want to see him in Judge Judy's outfit with a gavel," and then it's like, "All right, come at me, bro. See if you can convince me."
We want to do this. We want to do that. Yeah, pretty much nothing from us, the community. This is all the devs. This is what they want to do. You know, we could kind of whisper in their ears and kind of give them some ideas.
No, we can't.
No, well, you never know.
No, there's not a chance in hell. And at that point, it'll have been 14 hours of this broadcast. It'll be wrapping up at about 10 a.m. the next day. But thank God the live letter is at a reasonable time for most of the United States. It's a little bit rough for East Coast, but it's still better than the usual, like 5
No,
hours.
I remember last year's 14-hour live letter. I think the live letter was a little bit later. I think I was up at 4. That's when Matt kind of tweeted at me while I was streaming. I remember this because I was on 14 while listening. I was up I think it was at 6 a.m. my time.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly the exact time, but I was up and I was, I had the audio going and I was in 14 up at the butt crack of dawn. But yeah, it was a whole lot later than it is now. And do you think it would have been beneficial to, wait for the end of the 14 hour?
No. I actually wouldn't have minded that in this case, but it would have been really late for Japan then. And then, God forbid. And and pretty early for us. I, again, don't mind early, but
Neither.
I'd rather they just do it right off the bat because then I don't have to worry about when I wake up the next morning. It's just like, I'll just stay up. It's 9 o'clock. It's like, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not overly concerned about any of that. So it is whatever it is, my friend. It is whatever it is.
Again, Stewie.
Yeah. And that is the entire 14-hour broadcast. And remember, that airs August 26th, Friday, August 26th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Daylight Time, because that's going to be fun. You guys have fun who don't do daylight savings. Figuring out whether...
Time is stupid.
Time is stupid. Anytime I see PDT, I'm like, shut up. That's it. Shut up, time. Close your mouth. I hope that this is a decent live letter. I have a feeling we'll find out most everything that's in the patches live letter, but we'll get almost no actual substance, just like they kind of do every time. I wonder if they're going to do a second half of that live letter where it's like kind of more fluff. But they have so many other guests on the rest of the show. Please don't do that. Don't do that. You literally have Yoshi P's room before that, and then Yoshi P's room part 2 later. Don't also bring in a special guest for the second half of the friggin' live letter. Just an hour and a half of just bullet news. Just over and over and over again.
Those were bullets.
Those were bullets. That's as fast as I can throw a bullet. I'm sorry I'm not the Flash. And I can legit ding 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 just throw bullets like that. And that's the sound that bullets make, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing that is going on right now that will be ending Friday, August 26th, is the Moonfire Faire.
Yes.
Yes. So last week we made sure to mention that the Moonfire Faire is coming out. We went over what the rewards were. However, as of Friday, we got to actually do the Moonfire Faire event. And what were your thoughts on it?
A lot of cheese. A lot of cheese. It's cheesy as fuck. It's what I expected.
Really? That you expected that?
I expected all of that. I expected it to be that fucking cheesy. I really did. And in a way, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I like the cheese. I like the homage to, other
so
Power Rangers type shows.
Well, the thing is, for us, it's a bit different because for us, we specifically reference the Power Rangers, but for Japan, it's more of an homage to a different Sentai show that is more familiar to Japan and less familiar to us. That's why it's also 3 instead of 5, because most Japanese Sentai shows actually have 3. But so quick summary of the event. It's pretty standard. It's one of those events that probably won't take you more than an hour to do, unless you tried to do it on day one, and we'll talk about that quest here in a second. And you go off, you do a quest, and you get some of. Now, one of the most disappointing things was we mentioned there was an orchestrion role. The bad part was that the orchestrion role was not what it was for a song I didn't know existed until I did this event, and that song is a song that I'm playing for the stream right now. It's basically the second Sentai theme that has ever happened in Final Fantasy XIV after the Brute Justice fight. And honestly, these cutscenes were incredibly entertaining to watch.
They were. That's the one highlight of Moonfire Faire was, even though I didn't have the music on, went back and watched somebody who did have the music on, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Oh yeah, I was really happy when I got to finally hear this theme. I was like, yes, this is amazing. And then I realized that there was no orchestrion role for it. Then I was sad. How come all the best themes don't get orchestrion roles? Come on now, be a man, do the right thing. Give us the amazing Sentai orchestrion role so when people walk in our house, they get super excited.
Then they do poses.
Yeah, and then they just do poses the whole time. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright. Dab. So after you do that initial quest, you actually have a few repeatable quests that you can do. You have to do each one once. They're pretty straightforward, but the third one was the cause of a bit of controversy. Because let's just say it wasn't everyone do this event at the same time friendly.
God.
That's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
It's basically a quest where you had to capture 3 weakened bombs under 50% HP, and there's maybe 6 or 7 of them that spawn a minute, and anybody can claim them, anybody can try, and then everybody's level 60, and like, I'm level 60 with my I-240 weapon. Throw a spear,
Kill
one
it.
shot.
Kill it. Kill it.
As opposed
Kill
to
it.
trying to
Kill
do
it.
less damage.
All right, let me switch to a job that I don't really have level to 60, but yeah, let me try. No, somebody else got it. No, somebody else killed it. No, somebody else killed it again.
Somebody was really upset with me. I showed up there the night of the event, not like the day of, and I got it done in like 3 to 5 minutes. Somebody said, "Welcome to hell" when I showed up, and then 3 minutes later, I was done, and they were like, "You don't understand. You've just parted the Red Sea. You have done the unthinkable." No, but seriously,
Yeah, it took me around 5 to 6 minutes. Yeah, same.
On Gilgamesh, though, it was a goddamn nightmare, because there were just people spamming holy just to fuck with the quest. And I'm just like, oh my god. So my strategy was I went on my level 34 Lancer on my alt to do it the first time, because I knew that I was just recording it for footage. And I just did one attack, and I immediately started spamming the key item. Even if it died, most of the time I still got credit for it. So it was fun. It's easy to do now that the event's kind of calmed down a little bit. But that day it was complete nightmare. Complete nightmare. Not a problem now. So if you guys haven't done the event yet, go do it. After that, it gives you a fate, which has that same music, which I'll play one more time because it's amazing. It's got that same music. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna turn on OBS, and you're gonna turn on Audacity, and you're gonna go to that fate with the music at 100, and you're gonna press record, and then you're gonna just loop it back when you're raiding all day. Just don't listen to anything else.
You turn all ambient sounds off. You know, just only have the music going.
Just don't upload it to the internet.
Yeah, just don't do that.
Just don't do that, because that's not nice. Don't do that. Unless it's got gameplay. If it's got gameplay, then it's perfectly fine. That was so. Yeah, and then you can actually get the entire Go-Go Posing Ranger outfit dyed any color you want. You get the 3 poses, which let's see. I have them. I actually have all 3 poses right here. Let's see. It's this, like, almost like football kind of.
No, that's a Greg pose right there.
Yeah, that's the Greg pose. It's the dab, which is actually this, but just look down at the
yeah, you just look down at a Lalafell or a minion. That's it.
And then it's like this kind of, and those are the 3 poses. You get 2. We get 1 for each side. So those are fantastic. And then there's also some a firefly lamp and there was one other thing, and the orchestrion roll, which is the Moonfire.
And then of course The sparklers and all that jazz and the explodey bits.
Did you dye your suit?
Black.
You should have. You know, are you still wearing the subligar?
No. I have the suit, but it's black. I'm still wearing my subligar.
Okay,
but,
I just wanted to make sure that you were.
But I dyed my suit black because
that you were a go-go subligar ranger.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm Black Ranger. It's Black Ranger. OP.
Yeah.
Shit. High five, Aya. There you go.
There you go. That was you high-fived yourself. So unless you're Aya,
yeah, it was
all right. If you say so, that's I'll accept it. I'm colorblind, so I just didn't even bother fucking dyeing the goddamn thing. I was just like, whatever it is, however it looks, it's fine. Whatever the base color is, I'm that color. Whatever that color is, I'm good. All right. I'm not gonna try and mess around with it. So now that we have the yokai event, we have this more straightforward event. Which events would you rather prefer?
The seasonal events. The seasonal events because they're
so like this one.
Yeah, like this one. It's short and sweet. It's fluff but fun fluff. It's fun stuff to do. So I think the next one is the All Saints Wake.
No, we have the Rising.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do have the Rising.
The Rising is seasonal.
And then All Saints Wake.
Yeah. Unless we have a 15 event in there also that we don't know about. But yeah, otherwise All Saints Wake will be the next one with the spooky ghost.
Spooky!
3 spoopy, 5 May. That's all I gotta say. I love memes, in case you couldn't tell. Get a doctorate in memology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Fold has a doctorate in memology. Not much you can really do about that, though. I don't know who the hell gave it to him, but well deserved.
The internet.
The internet gave it to him. Yeah, I guess when it comes to memes, they are judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Okay, and then I guess the final thing we want to talk about, but we probably won't go into too much detail because it's only one piece of it, is Tales from the Dragonsong War got another update.
Yes.
It's been a while. Did Tales from the Dragonsong War did Tales of the Dragonsong War get updated before last year's as well? I think last year's Rising they released the first 4 parts, and now they're releasing 4 more parts for the next part of Tales of the Dragonsong War.
So the next one will be on the 12th, which is this Friday.
Yep. And it's going to be every Friday until the broadcast is out, the 14-hour broadcast pretty much. So we have What Remains of a Night, and it's a story about a guy who's dead. To put it,
that is a perfect fucking description. It's
a
story about a guy who's dead. So it's just a story.
Yeah, no, but that's what the story is
it's
about.
Just history. It's not even a story. It's history. Story.
I mean, you can't spell history.
Oh my God.
You understand that history is just his story.
His story. Yeah, that's what I said.
It's basically about the final uncorrupted member of the Heaven's Ward prior to the events of Heaven's Ward itself. He was the oldest and he was the most loyal to Ishgard. So when he saw King Thordan, Archbishop Thordan the 7th, talking to an Ascian, which is a scene that's already been detailed in the game itself, he tries to stand up and say something, but he's killed by Cherbert, who then takes his place on the Heaven's Ward. And he was the last uncorrupted knight of the Heaven's Ward. Now, at this point, with Cherbert taking his place, I'm sorry, Sir Zephyrin. Sir Zephyrin was the new Archimandrite, because he was the Archimandrite. So yeah, I'm sorry. Cherbert didn't take his place. Sir Zephyrin did.
Zephyrin the Vault? Zephyrin the Vault?
Zephyrin is one of the two, I believe, that we fought when we went with Alphino.
Inside the vault or
no? Well, it was when we were fighting.
Oh no! When we fought in the trial. In the
in the trial just before you get your black chocobo. I'm pretty sure Sir Zephyrin was one of those two that you end up fighting. But yeah, so that's what it is. Cherbert basically made way for the final corrupted member of the Heaven's Ward before the events. And we're talking about very recently in history that this happened too, because that event with the Ascian is kind of described as Thordan as a very recent thing, and we do see in the end of 2.4 that, I think even the end of 2.3, when the Asians, when Elidibus and La Habrea show up inside of the Archbishop's main hall. And we can assume that the event happened right around then. He did the thing with the lance. That's Sir Zephyrin.
Okay, so he's the one.
He killed Brochefont.
Brochefont, yeah.
Yeah. He killed Brochefont. I forgot.
We still need that as a shirt, by the way.
Yes, we do. Brochefont. That's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll have the next one this Friday, then the following Friday. So for the next 3 Fridays, keep your eyes out for these. We'll probably be briefly discussing what the stories were. The old ones, I forgot what the old ones are about. I think the old ones have Estinian, Isail, and I don't know what the other two, Nanamo. This one's Papashan, Nanamo, and then, who the hell is this? Francel.
Francel, yeah.
Yeah. Who, although Francel seems to... Yeah. Francel takes place after the events of Haurchefont's death, because you can see him honoring Haurchefont in that picture. Oh, man. Sad face. Sad face, Brochefont. I'm sorry, Brochefont. We respect you. We miss you. Thank you for helping us at the end of 3.3. Yep. And other than that, there really isn't too much going on in the game right now. I mean, that's been pretty much the case for Final Fantasy XIV very recently. We're all kind of on hold. I don't know.
It's in a lull. It's in a lull. We periodically get these.
The thing is, it's not the lull is really is mostly, how do I describe? I don't know. It's again, it's not a lull that's being talked about too much because Palace of the Dead still is really fast queue times. I know a ton of people that are still doing that pretty much on a daily basis.
Starting this bullshit.
What do you mean don't get you started with that bullshit? All I know is there's way too many games coming out in the next 6 weeks for me to spend too much time. I mean, No Man's Sky came out today. I've been enjoying the hell out of that. We have Nioh on August 23rd. We have Final Fantasy 15 September 30th. Well, Nioh demo. It's on August 23rd.
Yeah, the demo, not the actual game.
Hell, that game is so hard it might take me a week to finish the goddamn demo.
No, Vivi, it's not that I'm bad. It's fucking terrible when I get 3 fucking mimics and 3 fucking subsequent runs.
That's why you don't mimic in a solo run unless you also have a Commander of Rage, so you can guarantee the safety.
I go to every fucking chest because I want to improve my goddamn weapon.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, it's like
I skip silver chests when I solo.
Three runs, back to back mimics. I have the worst fucking.
I don't know, Sly. It sounds like
I have the worst
better. I'm just gonna say it just sounds like you need to play just not much better, just only a little better.
And what? Not go for chest. Ooh, shiny! Explode. Ooh, shiny. Mimic.
When you're soloing, silver chests are bad news bears. That is like the #1 cardinal rule. Silver chests are bad news bears. Don't do it. Save yourself. Oh, man.
But I need that weapon. No, I need the weapon and the armor, which I haven't really gotten lucky on.
Armor? Oh, I get what you mean. You mean the plus 30, plus 30.
Yeah, plus 30, plus 30.
All right, respectable. There's also Deus Ex Mankind Divided. That's also coming out soon. Don't forget about that. That's another one. There should be Dark Souls 3 DLC coming out soon.
Mondor.
No.
Yes. What? Ashvati.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Ashvati.
Stop it.
Would you like to know the lore of the land?
Stop it. I've watched a million of those videos, so it's fine.
Would you like to know the lore of the land?
Yeah, let's not do that. All right, so on that note, I believe we've covered all the last week's news for Final Fantasy XIV. Stop praising the sun. Stop it. Stop praising the sun over there, Sly. I believe we covered all the recent news for Final Fantasy XIV this week. I just want the Slyve letter to come. It's only the 8th. It's only the 9th. We have to wait quite a few more weeks.
A few more weeks.
2.5 weeks.
You can't be that fucking patient.
No.
I want my news now. Yeah, like we're not gonna get any news and like. Do you not know how this works, Mike?
I know exactly.
You not know how this works.
I trust me. I know how it works.
Exactly. Like somehow, some way, we'll get some news. we'll get
no shit. We already know how we're gonna get those news.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
news. That
those news. Yeah.
Those news.
Yeah, those news.
There we go.
Can't speak words.
Yeah, I mean, why bother? So we're not going to stretch the show out longer than it needs to be. We're going to have a short one, nice 50-minute show this week. It's quite digestible. Sorry if
light news week.
Sorry if your bus rides are like 90 minutes, because then you'll just have to listen to it twice.
Or watch past shows, or listen to past shows.
Yeah, watch this. It's always a good show. What's a good show?
Yeah, we got a little bit of a playlist. We got a stack of playlists.
Yeah, we got a playlist still.
Yeah, we got at least like what 3 days worth of podcasts in a playlist that you can listen to. Yeah, 3 days worth if you actually listen to it.
You'll be fine. Chat's like, please stretch it out. Please stretch it out for no reason. All right, just sleep for the next 10 minutes. I'm tired as hell, so I wouldn't mind doing that. Yeah. All right, everyone, we're gonna wrap things up and go on over into the post show. So, Sly, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you at, my man?
Okay, you can find me at twitch.tv/Slyakagreyfox. You can find me on Instagram at Slyakagreyfox07. You can find me on Twitter at Slythefox. You can find me Plot 14 Work Pod of the Lavender Beds on Behemoth. Or you can find me tonight playing No Man's Sky.
Tonight's playing No Man's Sky, huh? I like that. This rock, I swear I found this rock in No Man's Sky. Dwayne is from No Man's Sky, I promise. I'm Mr. Happy. You can find me pretty much everywhere. Mr. Happy1227. That's Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. I was also playing No Man's Sky earlier today. And don't forget, we still have Final Fantasy Count Up. I am about a week ahead of schedule on that, in the middle of Final Fantasy VI, although it will not be live on Wednesday. Mel might go live for a little bit on Wednesday on my channel, though. So bring your cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, bring your cheers. Make her feel welcome if she ends up doing it. So, anyway, on that note, we're gonna move over into post-show, and we will see you next week, where we can talk about whatever news there is next week, whatever they may bless us with news-wise come next week. But we'll see what that ends up being. So expect the next few shows until we get to that live letter show to be pretty short. We should probably have Ethos on for that live letter show.
Yeah, you should. And then we can go into detail about the Tales from the Dragon's Lore as well.
Exactly. We can go over all of those, and he can give us the full details on it. So that much we know is going to be a show, and then also TGS will be a show, and then we'll have the post-FanFest show. Okay, we have a few shows. We got a few shows.
We got a few shows.
We're good. Go through shows.
We got a few shows.
Okay. All right, everyone. We're going to go on over to the post show now. Thank you for joining us this week. We will see you next week. And until then.
See you next week.
Take care.